Hey guys, it's Relainin and welcome back to another episode of Life. So we should just get started. Okay, today's episode 31. Song of the week. This week's song of the week is "God Only Knows" by For King and Country. God only knows what you've been through. God only knows what they say about you. God only knows the real you. Because there's only God that God only knows. There's a lot of... I forget lyrics. The band reflects we walked with those who we love as they battle through loneliness. We heard your stories of great loss, and lately we've seen several in the public eye take their own lives. In turn, we were compelled to write and portray an honest yet hopeful song for us all during the difficult seasons. For King and Country recently took to social media to raise awareness for a few causes close to their heart, including human trafficking, suicide prevention. The response they have gotten since been overwhelming. Fans from all over the world left comments describing their own experience with depression and anxiety, crediting God Only Knows for helping them through some of the toughest times of their lives. Now let's move on to the verse of the week. Love is patient and kind. Love is not jealous. It does not brag, and it is not proud. 1 Corinthians 13:4. 1 Corinthians 13:1 through 13 is one of the most loved and well-known passages in the Bible, but Paul places it after his teaching on the spiritual gifts for a specific reason. Some of the gifts may seem impressive, but if intense without self-sacrificing love for others, they become meaningless, even descriptive. Paul uses 14 verbs to describe what love does and does not do. Love is a fountain for Paul's teaching. In the following chapter on prophecy, tongues, and even orderly worship. While this section is often quoted in romantic settings, such as a wedding, the concept in a mind that is of a self-sacrificing godly love. Okay, before I go to the childhood thing for the week, I need to go really quick and get something really quick. Okay, be right back. Short intermission or something? I don't know. Okay, I'm back. I went to get water. I was really thirsty. Okay, today's childhood thing of the week is another VeggieTales one, called Lord of the Beans. I always laugh when I hear that because it reminds me of the movies Lord of the Rings and the books Lord of the Rings. Okay, let's just get started. The story used to illustrate the lesson of is a parody of J.R.R. Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings. The parody is overt, taking characters' names, places directly from the source, and changing them to fit the VeggieTales context. In spite of this, the plot takes many unexpected turns, and recognizable scenes are freely reinterpreted to create humor or underscore the video message. At the opening countertop, Larry the Cucumber comes wheeling in on his new unicycle, Ukili according to Larry, and announces that he will use his talent to make himself famous, to get on the cover of Veggie Beats magazine. Bob the Tomato gets a letter from Dylan from Altoona, Wisconsin, about what is a gift and what we should do with it. Lord of the Beans begins with Randolph, Mr. Nezzard, arrival in Shire for Billboy Baggy Pants, played by Archer Gold Asparagus. 122nd, he calls his I can't even read this, referencing, birthday party. Uncle Billboy, who has experienced many adventures, talks about retiring and leaving, and uses a strange bean to produce a birthday cake. He returns to his home to find Randolph waiting in his living room. My dogs are barking. Randolph, played by Mr. Why does it keep saying his name? Remarks on Billboy as himself impressive height in his fine clothing and his luxurious appointed home. He knows these gifts have come from the bean and warns his friend of using such things lightly. Uncle Billboy concedes that it has given him everything except for one special thing. He tends to leave and find. He announces that he is leaving everything he owns, including the bean, to his nephew Toto, and leaves. Toto soon returns, and Randolph informs him that Uncle Billboy has already departed, and leaving him everything, and draws his attention to the bean. Toto is curious as to why he would want a bean. Randolph sings about the origin of the magical bean that could produce clothing, consumables, and small kitchen appliance, and also change your appearance. They verify the bean authenticity from an inscription left by on the fire. Toto is anxious about accepting such a gift and tries to pass it off to Randolph, but Randolph explains that we cannot choose our gifts. We must determine ourselves and how it should best be used. He suggests that Toto travel to the outers of the raspberry forest for insight, and already gathered some friends to assist with the journey. The ranger Corn, played by Larry Cucumber, the elf Lego Lamb, played by Jimmy Gord, the dwarf Grumpy Pog Grape, and the other elf Gary Gord, Lego Lamb's brother. Oh, Lego Lamb, Legoshi. I forgot his name in the Lord of the Rings. Dang it. Lego Lamb's brother, who had nothing better to do. The fellowship is born. They trek through the mountains of much snowier and eventually reach the raspberry forest. There, Randolph warned the others not to laugh, as the others had long ago lost their sense of humor. The others welcomed them and informed Randolph they must travel to the land of woe. But the others burst into laughter upon hearing the native tongue of the others, which is blowing raspberries. This gets them sentenced to detention on a high platform forever. However, the cockney eagle saves them, and they narrowly escape the raspberry forest. Sorry, something on my foot. They emerged upon the blue gate entrance of the land of woe. Randolph observes that they must solve a riddle to gain entrance. Toto provides the answer, an elephant, and the blue gate opens. But Toto is the only one small enough to fit through. His desire to learn the purpose of his gift, the bean, compels him to proceed alone. Randolph learns the passing umbrella boy, played by Charlie Pincher, likely inspired by Tom Badley, a character who was not in Peter Jackson's films, that the Sporks are after Toto and have taken a shortcut through the Red Gate. The Sporks, minions, and evil scary men, Skellion, seek to seize the bean for their master to fulfill his evil deeds. The fellowship pursues to the Red Gate. In the land of woe, Toto encounters a strange creature named Aham, played by Mr. Lunt, who seeks the bean for himself. He reveals that he once was a normal flobbit and a former owner of the bean. The bean had given him the life of ease that he still covets. Aham accompaniments Toto into woe as a guide. I just realized he's technically Smeagol or Gollum. Meanwhile, the others change through the Red Gates, only to be trapped by the Sporks. The other elf bakes cookies, which redeems the Sporks, who haven't eaten anything but bagani bread for 3 days, taking a line from the two towers, in which Ukura complains about having had nothing but maggoty bread for 3 seeking days. On the fellowship journey leads on. Toto and Aham arrive in woe to find desperate people lacking the most basic necessaries, such as food and water. Ahab wants Toto to leave them to use the bean for his own creature comforts. Creative? I don't know. But Toto recognizes that he can use it to help people of woe. The fellowship arrives just ahead of the scary man Scallion, who steals the bean. However, Uncle Billboy suddenly reappears, recovering the bean and returning it to Toto. Toto throws a bean into the well, bringing water back to the land of woe and restoring its fairytale and beautiful state. Back on the counter, the Spork steal what we have learned song, which upsets Bob, and he admits that he likes the song a bit. But Bob Larry wrap it up in usual fashion. The verse of Kurdi is Ephesians 2:10, for we are God's workmanship, created in Christ Jesus to do good work, in which God prepared in advance for us to do. And that is all for today. And wow, this is a short video. Unless there was missing stuff. I don't know. I've never seen that movie. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. And I guess I hope you learned something from God today. And you're going to be seeing some words in 3, 2, 1.